I've got quite a few projects going on today. One, I'm test driving a new knife I just recently received. And this here is the Cold Steel GI, and I've been working the heck out of it to see how well it performs, and so far I'm really happy about it. Second thing we're going to do is we're going to do a little cooking here in a fire trench, and I got this idea from Kenneth over at NatureQuest, and I'm going to be mentioning a lot of names throughout my video today, just give people credit for their ideas. So at the end of the video I will put up a virtual menu, that way you can kind of mouse over their name and go right to their YouTube site. So okay, I'm going to get moving along here. So I'm losing daylight, it would appear. I was watching RAINBOWHIKER the other day, and he reminded me how well that beef stew tasted. So I decided I'm going to make a pot of beef stew. Of course, I'm going to bob it up a little bit. We're going to do a little something different with it. And I've got some other food items here I'm going to try out, along with, we're going to make some hot chocolate with my alcohol stick. So the first thing I need to do is get my grill set up so I can put one of these pots on here and get some water boiling. So I think I'm going to work with this area right over here. Now I put a bunch of bark down in the bottom of this fire pit. The ground is a little bit on the wet side today. And I'm going to hide these plastic bags underneath the tarp. That way they don't blow away on me. So I think what I'm going to do is just going to put this in right here. And I'm using this end of the fire pit to actually get my ashes. Then I'm going to use this end of the fire pit to do all my cooking on. And just from where I'm sitting right now, this thing's freaking hot. Okay, that should be what I needed to do. Oh, perfect. Okay, now over here, I've brought several different sized pots with me. You'll see why here in a minute. So the first thing is I'm going to get out my little pot, which is buried in there somewhere. There you go. We went to the market and picked up a humongous spud. So the first thing I need to do is I'm going to cut this spud up into little chunks, throw it in the pot, and we're going to use this as our cutting tray, it looks like. So let's get that started. And this is one sharp knife. Look at that. I'm going to cut these kind of thin. This is a lot of spud. Huh, I'll be darned. And drop these on my towel here so they don't get too dirty. Yeah, what the heck. Okay, I think this is going to be enough spuds for now. Yeah, flip this little booger over and throw some spuds in there. Rate goes up a little bit. And I'm going to save this one for maybe the trip out. So I'm going to put him in the little baggie here so it doesn't get too dirty. Of course, you know they say you can eat a little bit of dirt. I don't know about that. I'm not much of a dirt eater. And you know what else we need to put in here is I think I'm going to drop some salt. Now the purpose of having salt in here is what it does is it breaks down the starches in the potato. Got that bugger. There we go. And set him aside. So over here I got some salt. Ah, there it is. Picked this up at Wally World. It's got a bunch of spices and herbs in there. Yes, I am the king of Ziploc bags, so let's dump some salt in that sucker. Alright, now all we need is to add a little H2O. And I'm going to probably just fill it up till the spuds are covered. Set that there on the fire. Make sure, yep, it's sturdy. Okay, let's put the lid on that. Now, a little bit earlier, I made one of these. What I did is I just took my pack shovel, took a piece of wood, split it, and wrapped some 550 cord around there, and basically just made a little shovel with a handle. We need to get some of this dirt off here. I'm not going to be able to get the coals under the pan like I want. There we go. That way, I don't burn my hand today. We've got a really nice bed of coals going, so let's scoop some under there. Get that water up to a roaring boil. Okay, I think this will be enough coals for right now. Set this little guy aside. Okay, while we're waiting for that to come up to a nice rolling boil, I want to show you my tarp setup. This is a shelter system that NewAmerican Woodsman and I have been working on. And if you get a chance, swing by his channel. He's got a way to put a Mylar emergency blanket on there, and he uses snaps, which I think is a really good idea. But I did some other modifications of mine because I had a problem with one, the wind kept making it collapse in, and two, I just wanted it a little more taut. So come around here and I want to show you what I did. These are clamps from Walmart, and you get them in a pack of 4, and I just clamped those on there and put some 550 cord and put my stake in the ground that way to pull it taut. Now I did some modifications to these stakes, and if you go by my Facebook page, you'll see what I did. And then I also staked it out here on the corners. That way, when the wind's blowing, it doesn't go anywhere on me, and it's a little bit more safer. So let's go see how our food's doing. We should be coming up to a nice little bubble by now, at least. Let's see what we got. Yeah. I think what I'm going to do is just shovel some more coals under there. There we go. And get one on the tarp. Oh, I got some other items I want you to take a look at. Come over here and let me show you these I just picked up. This first one I actually found at Wally World, and it's made by Coleman. It's basically a vegetable stew that you can heat up and make a little stew out of it. I thought that was really neat. It's a little pricey, but I don't have a food hydrator yet, and it's something I'm going to try out. And another item I found, Walmart's carrying, and this is Grizzly Ridge, and these are the dehydrated apple slices, and they've got banana peels too. And I'm going to try those out today. I think it's time for us to take a little look and see what's going on in the pot. Yeah, it's coming up quite nicely. Let's see how we're doing. Yeah, that one's going to be a booger. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, I think they're done. Okay. Time to make some changes. We're going to grab the other big pot I have right here. And the purpose of that is I'm going to take the mountain house and we're just going to put it in this pot. And I bet you're asking yourself, why in the heck is he doing that and not, make sure we get all the floaties out of there, not putting the water inside the bag? And I'll show you here in a minute. Okay, let's grab that out of there. Remember, always take your trash out with you. And I've got an extra bag just for that. Now, let's come over to the fire with it. And we're going to replace this pot here. Put it on a fire. We need to get this set up for more of a simmer. There we go. And this requires about 16 ounces. We're going to put 2 cups of water in there because I don't want to waste the water. Hopefully no taters fall out. Okay, let's get this out of our way. I'm going to simply stir that up. And looks like we lost a little bit. And look at it, thickening already. Then, the taters we just cooked. Yeah, let that thicken up a bit. We're going to drop in. I know what you're going to say. You're using too much salt, Bob. But, trust me, you'll use that up as you hike out. We're going to put in a little, not much, just a little seasoning salt here. And I'll be darned, done. Okay, let's go with garlic salt. We're just going to tap a little garlic salt in there. Not much. Just spice it up a bit. And of course, more black pepper. Then we're going to add, whoops, get back here, our taters. And that's going to be one thick meal. We're going to mix that in. Oh, that's looking pretty darn good already. I think I'm going to put just a little bit more water in it. There we go. Oh, much better. We're going to let that simmer with the lid on so I don't get a bunch of ashes in there. So I want to say, let's give her about 5 minutes or so, and I'm going to pull some more of these coals out from underneath of it. Okay, next project. Dump crap all over the place. Let's get this out of the way. Somewhere, oh, here it is. I put together a little alcohol stove, and I'd like to thank everybody's inspiration for building this. It took a lot of advice from my YouTube and Facebook friends to build this and put it together. Yeah, come over here, and I think we're going to set it up in this area. It looks pretty decent, and I'll show you what I got going on. First thing I did is I made a little lid out of it, out of a can tin. That way it decreases the boiling time so it doesn't take as long to boil. And I put my alcohol in these little bitty bottles. And if you get a chance to swing by my Facebook page, you can check out how I designed that. So let's get this started. I'm going to make a little double hot chocolate. I used probably about a half a bottle in the stove, and I put the cellophane on there because these little suckers kind of were leaking on me the other day. Okay. And somewhere I have a lighter. Oh, there we go. Now the trick is to let the inside of this come up to a boil. That way, once it starts boiling, the jets burn a lot better. We're going to do probably, since I'm going to make extra chocolatey, I'm going to go with a full cup on this project. Let's get that set on there. And we're definitely, definitely going to need the old windscreen. And let's put the lid on. Alright, let's check to see how our stew's doing. You know what? I think we could take that off the fire now. It's starting to mush up quite nicely. So we'll put that over here and let it cool down so I could actually attempt to eat it. Now the alcohol stove will probably take 2 to 7 minutes depending on the weather conditions. It's probably, want to say, 39, 42 degrees out, so it shouldn't take that long. In fact, we've already got a little bubble going on the inside here, so we're going to give that a minute. You know what? I think I'm going to do a quick taste test of the stew we have made. Oh, that's good. And hot. Very hot. And everything's hydrated quite nicely. keep it on here and keep it simmering a bit. See how we're doing. I think we're ready to add some hot chocolate. We've got some good looking bubbles going. So over here I got my hot chocolate. Yeah, we're gonna make double hot chocolate. Yep, here comes the wind again. It's hot chocolate with the little marshmallows in it. And put that booger back on there. Doesn't that look good? So we're going to let that simmer just a little bit more. Let's take a look at our stew. Oh, look at it. Doesn't that look good too? It's got a little mush going to it. Okay. Another channel I'd like to recognize is Karen. Now, I'll put a link up, like I said, here in about a minute to all the people I mentioned in this video. She's doing a lot of fun things with open fire cooking lately, and swing by and check her channel out too. This pretty much concludes this video. Plans for the rest of the day: clean this mess up because I got stuff spread everywhere. I'm going to take about an hour nap in this and see how this holds up, because the wind gusts are coming up quite a bit more now, and it's doing good so far. And probably pack it up and hike it out. As yeah, we should probably take that off there. It's going to be too hot to drink. As always, comments are just more than welcome. You know, a good thing, I just thought of something. Another good thing about this lid is to keep the ashes out of whatever you're cooking in your GSI cup. Comments are more than welcome. Any questions, feel free to ask them. And like always, thanks for watching. Oh, that's some hot chocolate. You're good though. Well, if that don't stick to your ribs.